The defeat of the Khitans and the rise of our Jin dynasty have changed the political landscape. The Khitans' Liao Empire, centered on the steppe to the north, is no more. A new power is emerging into that vacuum to claim the Mongolian steppe. Genghis Khan has unified the tribes of Mongolia and is currently campaigning against the Shah Empire to the west. His rise to power was sudden and swift, and our spies report that the Mongol cavalry are using formidable new tactics that are breaking each of their foes. It will not be long before the riches of our land attract the great Khan's eye. The direct path from Mongolia to our capital of Zhongdu traverses a long, narrow mountain pass, 100 li to the northwest. Ruined Qin dynasty fortifications are all that guard this pass, Juyongguan, at this time. Directly in the middle of the long, narrow pass at the ancient site of the Qin dynasty labor camps, we must build a new wall of stone. You are in charge of that project, my most trusted architect. The walls of the valley are steep, leading down to a small stream at the bottom. You will find game meat to hunt, wood to cut, and stone to quarry. Let's hope you don't have to use the iron for weapons. We want to be done with this project before the Mongol hordes sweep down the valley. Have confidence, loyal servant, for your project does have the full support of the Emperor. We will send regular dispatches of stone from Zhongdu out to your worksite to supplement the rocks you quarry locally. This project must be completed swiftly. The fate of China rests in your hands.
G'day mates, and welcome back to Emperor. Looks like we have ourselves a bit of a military mission coming up, so we are going to be building the Great Stone Wall. But I've done a little bit of research, and this is the penultimate mission, the second last mission of the entire campaign. So we need to try to hold the Mongols off here, and then, assuming we succeed, we will fight them again back at our old capital, by the looks of things. So they do say that you can beat this very, very quickly, but let's go have a look at the city. I'm a little bit concerned. I reckon we're going to need a military regardless. Oh, it's a very small map. Wow, very small. So we've got space up here to the north. Looks like a very nice spot for a city, although if I had to guess, they would come from the northwest. So I'm assuming they're going to be coming from up this direction, and and I'll need to hold them here at the pass. And there appears to be only one way through the wall. Yeah, so unlike previous Great Walls where there have been multiple entrances, this one only has the one. So I can, hopefully, hold them here. So I can build some fortifications, some towers and everything along here to hopefully wall up and protect them, and protect my flanks, stop them coming in. I reckon I can get... Let's have a look at our resources here. We've got 2 food types plus hunting. Hunting appears to be just to the northeast there. Iron to the southwest. Stone. I don't think there is anything out here that we're going to need. Oh yeah, there's more iron out here. So it may be tempting to... There should be enough iron here. I think if I put my iron extractor people... Ooh, it's not harmonious. If I put them along here, then I think what will happen is... Yeah, they'll be able to run up there if they need to. I'll keep them down here, I think. Farming can be done there. Housing blocks up here, I suspect. It's all the industry on this side. This is going to be very, very tight. I'm thinking 2 housing blocks, and then a noble's quarters should be sufficient. It looks like more iron up there and more iron up here. Okay, there's iron everywhere. This is an iron-rich area. We've got logging and stone, kiln lacquerware makers, jade carvers. What trade routes have we already got open? So Jia and the Mongol Empire, I suspect, will be fighting... Well, they're fighting each other. I don't know if they're going to actually fight us or not. Nothing I can sell, but they will sell me jade. Okay, that's good. Oh, can I make silk? Let's have a look at that. No, there's no orchards of any sort. Okay. So you'll buy... Ceramics might be useful, although it's only a very small amount. But they'll sell me additional food types, so I can actually probably import... I can farm 2 food types and import a 3rd one, perhaps. He'll sell me ceramics, which will allow me to get a set of nobles up very quickly. I'll buy wood. Stone, I suppose. Weapons I probably won't have time to sell until later. Okay, they'll buy carved jade. I think carved jade is going to be my main income source, so I can only get 12 to sell off, unless Lenan and somebody else, maybe Zhang Ling. I don't think they produce jade either, so it's only can get jade from the Jia Empire, so if I can get them on side, I may be in a good position. But for now, I think I've got a rough idea of how this is going to go. Let's have a quick look at our gods. We have 3 military guys. Guandi, I think, is going to be the important military one here. So Taoist, if I throw down a Taoist temple, he can have some rough cavalry, halve the cost of building forts. I thought he did something like, I'm sure it's in front of me, I can't see it. Oh, there you go. Can bless a mill, bless a Confucian Academy. I thought he could bless, I'm sure it's in front of me somewhere, I'm just not being able to find it, and I don't want to go through and read the entire thing. Yeah, you know, I thought he could bless, I'm going to have to go through in my own time and have a look at it, but I think he can bless the forts and give me weapons. So I can throw down a couple of these early on, bring in Guandi immediately, and just fill them up with weapons via magic. So it will be worthwhile getting down a whole bunch of things that I can gift off to him, as well as throwing down a Taoist temple. But either way, I think I am ready to throw this stuff down. I've got a few ideas in my head at the moment. There's not a lot of space here, but I think I could fit down, yeah, 2 here, 1, 2, and then a bit of a quick noble block over there. So I'm going to cut through to that, and I'll be back shortly. Alrighty then, this is what I've got set up so far. I have a very, very narrow little nobles quarters down here. Unfortunately, I sort of used up a bit more space than I was originally thinking. But I can fit in 3 there quite comfortably, possibly even a 4th one, or another one there. And that'll allow me to fit the remaining services in as required. They're not going to be leveled all the way up, but if I can get them up a little bit, then I can unlock a couple of extra military forts. Given the limited size of this map, I'm pretty much expecting we're not going to need a full-size military, but 2 forts plus, I guess, an additional 3, so 5 total, will allow me to get something set up, as long as I can hold them here at a bottleneck with towers and everything like that. Hopefully that'll allow us to beat them. Anyway, what am I thinking? So I've got the farm set up here. I've only got 2 food types as well as hemp, so that'll bring us up to the people who require ceramics and appetizing food to go further. I could get these here, but I haven't really left a huge amount of space for them to get the food source down. I could probably make a little path up the back here, and I have thought about that. But at the moment, what I'm going to do is just have these hunters' tents walk up, and hopefully they can go up that way. If they cannot, then I'm going to have a different problem to try to figure out. But for now, that should allow them to go up, grab the food they need, and drop that off in the mill, and supplement our food sources somewhat. We're going to need a lot of workers for this, unfortunately, so we're going to bump up pay wage to high, and we're going to consider our first industry. I'm thinking it's going to have to be weapons straight away. Now, we can sell weapons to a couple of our people who are already open. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to open trade with you and with you. I have heard that opening trade and having it being rejected gives you a very small 5% debuff, so I'm actually going to send a small gift of cash to the Jia Empire in the hopes that that will not prompt them to attack me too early. I don't know if it will, and I've pretty much opened up trade with them regularly in the past with no real issues, but they have mentioned they're not going to be passive anymore in this mission, so I do need to keep an eye out for that. So figure out what trade they can do. I'm going to need weapons immediately once I get some people in, and I can do that quite comfortably here, I think. I will I'll wait for our population to build up somewhat though. Let's start moving everybody in, employees needed. And let's move a few people into the city, and then we'll figure it out. Okay, Jia Empire has thanked me for the cash, and a couple of trade rejections are coming. So the Jia Empire will produce jade. They are displeased, so they're going to be pissed off at me anyway. And they need weapons and tea. Nothing I can really produce at the moment. Weapons I may as well export to somebody else or use them for my own. Lannan will buy carved jade. Again, not particularly useful because I can't get enough jade in at the moment, raw jade. But they'll buy more weapons, which is good. They'll also sell me a couple of food types if I consider opening. You need weapons again, and you will produce one food type and a bit of nothing particularly handy there. So those were pretty much a waste. So I'm going to have to focus on what I've already got, which is going to be stone, weapons, and I'll see what I can import in. Okay, food is beginning to be growing. What's happened here? Why did that happen? You've just got to walk up there and fuck me, that's cost me a lot of money. A lot of money, which I can't actually afford, so I'm not going to rebuild it just yet. That's most unfortunate, but I can't afford to rebuild it just yet. They should. There are enough. Safety has been prioritized. So you should be able to just march on up and do it. You have workers. Why are you not working? No idea. Either way, that guy should be going up and crossing over there. I can see the guy moving up there now. So, for whatever reason, it didn't work. And it cost me... How much is one of those things? Palace is 300 buckaroos. So, not anything I can actually spare to lose. We are nearly there with workers. We require food before we can level up. We're only about half filled with these ones here. These earlier ones are also about half filled. So we can double our population, and food is about to pour in right now, which is going to be pretty good. We didn't get a lot of hemp, unfortunately. I was hoping that... Oh, they're hunting over here. I was hoping that we would get more hemp in for gifting. We should be able to get in, yeah, Guandi shortly. So either way, let's get on to getting some shops down. We'll get a food shop here for the time being, and level those guys up to start with. Okay, Kaifeng and Zhongdu both love me. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean they will... I assume they'll send me soldiers if I require it. So I'm going to go on and immediately start moving on to... now I'm going to wait for a couple more workers. Once we get to 0 workers, then I'm going to start throwing down the iron industry and the weapons industry over here. And actually, you know what? I think I'll be better suited by getting the iron industry set up to start with. Let's just go 3 to begin with, and I can leave room to expand. What that'll allow me to do then is add on the weapons at a later date, so I can build up a big stockpile of iron. Okay, foreign emissary. Let's have a look what we've got here. Gift of silk. Ooh, that could actually be quite handy. I'm going to throw down a sneaky little warehouse somewhere that is not going to be harmonious. I could probably throw it up there, but I'd need more workers at the moment to set everything up. So I'm going to throw you down in a non-harmonious location for now, and bring in, accept all the silk there. That'll allow me to actually export that out as required. So I can, or better still, I might even be able to gift it off to somebody. Cash is a little bit low, so I think I'm probably just going to sell that. Probably worthwhile at this point as well. Moving on to getting our first weaponsmiths set up. You are currently holding steel, so we're going to throw down the amount of steel we hold down to 8 and make this or weapon storage up to 16. Okay, trade route to Guangzhou. We need employees. Trade route to Guangzhou placed down, and that will sell off the silk for 225 by 6. So that's a decent amount. That's a good 1,500 strings of cash, give or take, which will keep us in the black for the time being. We're going to need... Ooh, shit, we need more food. That'll come short anyway. Looks like harvest has just come in. Unemployment is beginning to shoot up, which is even better, so I can begin to throw down additional weaponsmiths. I've got 2 of them now, there's a 3rd one there. And I can probably even begin to expand my woodcutters as well. I think I'll throw down, let's just say, another 2 logging sheds for the time being. That'll allow me to start mass producing steel, because at this point we just don't have enough timber coming in. Weapons will be shipped up to here. We're going to need to get Guandi on side, but until I get a good hemp harvest, I'm going to be a bit tight there. Paper makers I'm going to throw in just here. So 3 paper makers will allow me to start producing paper. And that will hopefully... Actually, we've got enough employees. What I can do now is start importing carved jade. So cash is beginning to come in once we get this set up. So you will sell me jade from Chengdu. So I need a trade route to Chengdu. You can import the jade, you can export the carved jade, and we can throw down the Jade Carver Studios here. Another foreign emissary, gift of rice. I'll actually accept that rice because we can use that and eat that. That'll be brilliant. Now what do we got here? We're throwing down the palace again, which is again bringing us closer to death, but selling off that silk has given us a bit of a chance here, a fighting chance. Weapons are beginning to flow in there, which will give us a military shortly. And I haven't really got anything additional to trade just yet. I've got a fair bit of hemp though, so I can throw down a hemp shop here and there. That'll boost up our population very, very quickly and give us a whole bunch more unemployment. Not that we need a huge amount. I'm going to cut down our spending somewhat. And this paper is going to go into tax in the early part here, but then I'll start gifting it off as required. Already a population of 2,000. Things are moving along swimmingly at this point. Unemployment is beginning to creep up. We've got a bunch of weapons really pouring out now. I'll be able to have my second fort down shortly, which means we need to start looking at ceramics. I am potentially able to import ceramics. Well, I can import them. The question is, can I afford to import them? And that is an interesting question. Can I afford to import ceramics, or will I just have time to set them up? I think I'm going to set them up here, but I don't really have the cash at the moment to do anything. I need to sell off this carved jade as quickly as possible. These people are going to buy it up, which will... How much cash is that going to give me? Please be a bit. Yeah, it's a little bit. Probably enough to set up a ceramics works, and that will allow me to get this all sorted. Unemployment is shooting through the roof, so we're not going to give them ceramics just yet, but we'll be able to use it to get my nobles going and expand the military further. And another foreign emissary, gift of ceramics. Excellent, that's just what I wanted. So we've gained 6 ceramics, which is brilliant. Now I've sort of of the opinion that I have overreacted slightly. I thought we'd have an immediate attack, but I think I may have been a little bit a bit panicky there. So things aren't too bad at this point. We've got everything set up quite nicely. Got room to expand here as required, but we've got the ceramics in. I'm not going to be selling those or putting them into the populace just yet. What I will be doing is, once our hemp harvest comes in, using that to throw down 3 little farms. So to that end, let's get the things that we need here. We need an ancestral shrine. We're going to need a Taoist shrine to go somewhere. I don't care, that can go there for now. We're going to require a herbalist. We're going to require an acupuncturist. And that should be sufficient to maintain them for now. I can throw down added stuff maybe later if required. That'll get me 3, probably 4. That'll get me 4 dudes in. The hunters, though, may not have access to food up here. Oh no, they can go through the farms, I think. Through the gardens. So once this hemp comes in, I can throw down 4 of these, and we can immediately begin to move on to getting our military expanded. Actually, the military needs another horseman thrown down. So I'll throw you there. We can hook you up and wall you off. And we're having mass devolution. Looks like we don't have enough food coming in here, which is a little bit unfortunate. I had thought the 2 farms would have been enough, but apparently not. We missed out just by a hair's breadth. So, yeah, we lost a huge amount of population. They've leveled back up again, of course, but actually we didn't actually fall too far behind. Thankfully we had enough unemployment to keep us going. And now I have a little bit of paper to keep our gods on side. Let's bring you up to fairly happy, and now I can start working on Guandi as required. Although at this point I seem to be producing enough weapons. Cash is currently stable, and once these guys level up, we will have our additional forts. We're going to need silk to come on in, so what I think I'm going to do is have you hold up to 16, and we're going to get silk up to, if I can find where silk is, silk up to, let's just get import up to 4 at this point. We can get the silk from someone. Will sell a silk. Oh, there you go. Haha, 12 bolts of silk. Excellent, excellent. That's there. You can actually get silk. I'm going to make you get up to 4. And that one, no, we're not going to export it anymore. Not selling. I'm going to need the silk down here. So to that end, I'm going to need people to move in. Why haven't they moved in just yet? Ah, here we go. Okay, appetizing food. That will come shortly. Okay, trade route to Pingyao here. This will export any additional ceramics we have because I've expanded our ceramics industry somewhat. We've just hit 3,000 people in the city, so unemployment is getting up there. They'll also buy in bean curd and additional game meat to supplement our stocks. I think I've figured out what the problem is. I'm not irrigating these. There really was only this amount of water down here, so I didn't set up an irrigation thing. And I think that is why I'm struggling with food so much, when normally I don't. So, what I can probably do is just put our additional workers to use here and throw down 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Throw down an additional farm, or 2 additional farms. One there, and this one here. And that'll allow me to get everything nicely developed. That should be those there, and some millet down the bottom. So hopefully things are looking a bit better now. We should have enough food coming in to... No, they'll be starting farming soon, but we're already out of food. This is not looking good. Things are a little bit higher. Population's too high, I think. I'm going to need to find a way to absorb this. And to that end, it's probably going to be labour camps and stonemasons. So, let's get cracking on that. Okay, mass devolutions, but we are, I think, going to survive because we have our agriculture sector fully done. Effectively, it is, government actually shouldn't absorb that. It's going to be industry that's absorbing that, which is fine, because we can slow down our industry as much as we want. Food, of course, is flowing in right now. It's finally been harvested, and that'll allow us to level up to a higher level. They're only working on plain food, which is good, so we can get those people moved in back to the level they were. And then once we get appetizing food at some point, these guys will begin to level up. They require acrobat access to go higher. Let's throw down one of those somewhere. It's not going to be harmonious, but at this point the city just doesn't have very much harmony at all. Pretty much just trying to fight for what space and efficiency I can get. Of course, cash is also very low, simply because we're not exporting the weapons, that's why. So let's begin exporting. Who will buy weapons from me? Happy New Year, I can't afford it at the moment. Who will buy weapons from me? Alrighty, and Kaifeng and Zhongdu are both set up to export weapons. They're taking up a little bit of space here that I was planning on using for my military, but I think I can put my military up here as I begin to expand. That'll give me a better fort area with which to defend the construction of the wall. Currently though, I'm going to need cash to do that, and we need more masons. These guys they've leveled up. Does that mean we can throw down additional... Yes, we can throw down additional forts. That's brilliant. I'm going to start working on that now, and to that end I should probably stop exporting too many weapons, but I'm going to need the cash. So let's get one of each, I think. And construction on the wall has begun. The blocks of stone and the masons are gradually working on it. Unemployment is still nice and comfortable. I can probably even drop that down to normal. And of course our military is beginning to move up. I've got enough for one left. I think an additional horseman would be good. I do like horsemen. But I'll wait until I get a defensive line set up before I go that far, and wait until these ones are fully stocked up. To that end, we've got more than enough cash. I'm actually going to stop exporting weapons for the time being. And I think the city is going to pull through, barring a massive attack from the enemy. Blocks of stone, I can accept that, that's good. I can drop that stuff up immediately and we'll be good. I don't think there's much more I can do here. I've got more than enough unemployment. All I need to do to get more is to put in the ceramics. I'm going to require labourers to work on the wall here. So, not really a lot that I can do here. Okay, Guandi is in the city. What we can do with him now is send him up and start blessing these additional forts here. That'll give us more exporting capability because we won't be using the weapons. And I can also throw down the final fort, which I think is going to be another infantry one. And I'll throw that there. I can use, of course, Guandi to bless that one too. Once he eventually gets up there, it'll put in 4 weapons at a time, which is more than sufficient, I think. We've got 1 load there. Yeah, let's send you up here and bless this baby. Beautiful. Send you down here as well, get this one blessed, and probably get this last one taken care of as well. And with that, he can effectively leave the city now. He's done what he needs to do. If he's going to hang around a little bit longer, it does piss him off to keep blessing all the time. If I can get him up here, I can just bless this one more time. And I think that'll be the last I get out of him. Okay, I've placed down a ceramic shop to level these guys up to ornate apartments. I'm only going to do it to this one block here for now because I think that should be sufficient to bump my unemployment up to a level that I require. With that, it'll allow me to get in, once these 2 masons are done, it'll allow me to get the labourers' camps that I'm going to require to push this up further. Another foreign emissary giving me blocks of stone. I'm actually going to postpone that temporarily, which is what postpone means, it's temporary. And I'm going to throw down a sneaky little storage yard right here to accept more stone, because my other one is completely filled up. So that one's full, this one here will accept more, and then we can dump it in and fill up this wall immediately. I have a little bit of unemployment, which is pretty good. I'm still thinking about what to do with it. Probably save some of it for manning these towers if required. I may even do another row of towers, like a 2nd or 3rd ring wall here. Gift of stone, thank you. Which will give me sort of the, I guess, the depth that I need to fight off the invaders. Yeah, I think we should be able to hold here. Probably another one of these will be done once I get up to, say, 5,000 strings of cash. So I've got a bit of leeway there. But for the time being, things are pretty good. You are not leveling up because of appeal. That's fine. You guys are going well. We are currently importing a little bit of silk from there to keep us going. And I think the city is effectively quite stable from here on out. I need to send off to the gods. Don't forget them. Send you paper, because we've got loads of paper. And the only problem is hemp was... we were having hemp difficulties before. When is the harvest for hemp? In April. So we've burnt through most of our year's supply quite quickly, although actually we've got a fair bit stocked up now. These 2 additional farms up here were all that was required. Okay, Mongol Empire has launched an invasion. This is not a good sign. I'll attack my city in 6 months, so we need to prepare as much as possible. There's also no festival this year. Why is that? Is it because our food is low? I don't know. Either way, our food is a little bit low, which is a bit of a problem. I'm going to need to see if I can import any additional bits of food. We can actually import wheat from them. And cabbage. Yeah, may as well bring in cabbage. We're going to actually start exporting weapons as well, but we're only going to do that in small bursts of 4, simply because I don't want to burn through our supply too quickly. Paper, ceramics, wood. Okay, I think we're looking good. We've got a good supply of weapons over there. For some reason, they are not reaching the monument. That is a problem. But I think we are going to be ready for that invasion when it does eventually happen. Okay, 1 more month until the Mongols arrive. I'm going to start... excellent, Lenan, grateful for weapons. With that, I can open up trade with you. Open trade with Lenan. Excellent. What I can do now is start moving my military into position. I'm assuming, of course, they're going to come from the north here. If they come from somewhere else, I'm stuffed. I'm just not going to be able to defend the city. They're going to rip through it, and I will lose. But I think it's safe to assume, given the amount of space we have up here, that they will be coming from the north. So let's move our people up and be prepared. Okay, Mongol invasion, they are coming in. We cannot surrender. If we do that, we will lose the game. So, coming in from the north, let's fight to defend the city. And there we go, Genghis Khan's initial probing force has been defeated. We've managed to send them back. That is great news. For some reason the military music is still playing quite loudly in my ears, but it's okay, I'll take care of all that in post-production. So these walls give us a much better chance of defending. I haven't really used walls to a large extent in the past, but they allow our archers, with our crossbowmen, I had 1 unit of crossbowmen and 2 of horse archers here just shooting into the enemy, along with, of course, with our men patrolling the walls. So they're pretty effective. That was actually a very good defense. I may even see if I can consider a way of implementing this into our capital city when I return. But that proved to be very, very effective. Either way, we're going to keep building the great stone wall here and see if we can hold on long enough. I suspect that there will be bigger attacks coming in the future. And the Mongol Empire is launching yet another invasion. Let's see if we can hold off. I think we're going to continuous invasions from here on, so we need to keep building this great wall as quickly as we can. We've probably only got 2 or 3 more layers to go, so hopefully we can get that done very shortly. And the Mongol Empire has launched their attack yet again, still coming from north, this time though from the northeast. This could be a bit of a problem for us. There's maybe a weak point over here. We could actually bribe them if we wanted, but instead we are going to fight to defend the city. And the invasion force has been defeated. Rather unfortunately, those catapults somehow managed to wipe out an entire thing of cavalry, even though it charged into them. They just sort of all despawned. I got no idea what happened there. There are 0 horsemen remaining there. That's most unfortunate. Unfortunately, our guys also still seem to all be conscripts. It does appear to take quite a lot to level them up in this game. Looks like Huan Di did arrive during that battle as well. I'd given him a bunch of paper and ceramics to try to bring him in, but he appeared too far away to be of any use during the battle. Quickly we can repair this area here and be prepared for the next invasion coming up. And just to speed things along, Juyongguan has now been brought into the city. She can wander around and do her thing. What that'll allow us to do is effectively get our labourers and masons and everything work twice as fast. So it's sort of hard to see at this high speed. But these guys require fewer pushes to actually, I don't know how to describe it, to I suppose tamp down the dirt, and they also will do an additional 1 or 2 segments of wall before having to go back home for a rest. So effectively, she sort of does like a 25 to 30% boost to the overall like labor part of the thing. Still requires just as many materials, you know, stone and dirt and everything, but the actual dudes doing the work will do it ever so slightly faster. Another foreign emissary has arrived, giving us more stone. I will accept that. It's brilliant. We don't necessarily need it, I don't think. So we still have a full storage yard down there. And this appears to be our final thing. So yeah, we only 30 blocks remaining and we're still producing more from our stone cutters there. So this is effectively the end. We still need to put in the gate and the towers that will go along to protect it. But this is the majority of the work done. Make sure Juyongguan is happy. She's not very happy at all, but she's also very expensive to keep into the city. So she seems to burn through her love for me very quickly. And yet again, material failed to reach monument sources too distant. I hope to God that it doesn't mean I'm actually wasting materials, and it doesn't seem to happen all the time, but yeah, it doesn't seem to happen all the time, but I'm not sure. Must be this bit up here, or possibly this little bit down here that it's trying to do. No idea what it could be, but it does eventually sort itself out, so nothing to worry about there. And the Mongol Empire is attacking yet again. Hopefully we can finish this wall off before they attack. I only require 4 more masons and a couple of little things to do here. But no, I suspect that they're going to arrive. We're going to have to fight them off one more time before we can actually stop these Mongol invaders. Looks like the Great Wall has been completed. It hasn't given me a pop-up just yet, but I noticed that they just built that thing there. So our troops are currently in position up here, ready to fight off the Mongols, and I think they're coming in, in 1 month from October, so next month they're arriving, but we may actually have won this, I'm not sure. Yeah, there you go, Great Wall complete. Now, assuming it ticks over into victory before they attack, we're not going to have to face them that final time. Fingers crossed, here we go.
Excellent work, young architect. The Great Wall now spans the valley at Juyongguan and will stand as a barrier against invaders for many centuries. Genghis Khan will have to find another route to Zhongdu. Your success has led the emperor to promote you to his imperial council. He believes there may be some work for you to do back at the capital.
Well, there we go, and actually the music just cut out. I'm not sure why that happened. Hopefully it doesn't mean anything has crashed. But that is the end of it. That is beaten back. We've beaten the penultimate mission. And that is going to be the final of these little colony-style missions. We're going to be heading back to the capital for the final mission. And I suppose I like to think that this big attack coming from Genghis Khan that we've just missed is going to eventually overrun this settlement. And we're going to have to defend him and hold back at the capital. So I will see you guys next time. Smash that thumbs up button if you do indeed enjoy all this content. Thumbs down there button there is waiting for you if you do not enjoy it, but at least drop a comment. Let me know how I can improve. Anyway guys, take care and I'll see you around.